now. I got to have glasses because I got to read. I looked up a few of the vet people on the vet board. Here's the deal. The president, Steve Gola, literally not very long ago, just like 2 years ago, May 2022, testified about the shortage of rural and food animal veterinarians and rural economies and how difficult it is to get veterinarians into rural practices. And yet this new ruling isn't going to make their job easier or better. As a matter of fact, it's going to make their jobs impossible. And I can't imagine that he would have the undersight to miss that in this new legislation that they're trying to pass. So that's the president. The vice president, Dr. Lynn Kreiner, friend of ours, is an animal chiropractor. She's a veterinarian. She's an amazing animal chiropractor. She loves her job, and she treats primarily horses in the Houston area. There's another one. I don't want to close the page. Dr. Randy Skaggs is the country veterinarian, the country practice. He wrote a book about it, about serving his clients. He spent 30 years, amazingly, serving small town, rural Texas for his clients. He does everything. And by everything, I mean exotic small animals, cats, dogs, livestock, everything. And he's written a book about it, but I don't think that book is going to fund his retirement. I think some bigger things need to be in place in order for him to be able to, he's been doing it for 30 years, since 1990. And he's probably looking for an exit strategy. Here's the deal. Having more work isn't going to make it easier. And he's a solo doctor. He's the only one in his practice. The same with Dr. Kreiner. The same with Dr. Gala. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. These are doctors who are still practicing in the old model of veterinary medicine, which is okay, but they're missing the prospect of having partnerships with people who can actually help their practice, allow them to retire with income, with maintaining their clients and helping their practices to grow. Now there's one other one. Let me find it. I want to make sure I'm not giving you a partial story. I can't see what I'm hitting on here. Thanks, you guys, for being here. Remember, if you're on our side, if you are working to help veterinary medicine, if you're working to help those doctors who have been certified in other things. Now granted, the veterinary board is made up of veterinarians and other people. And one of them, the secretary, is a lawyer. And there are 3 members who are, one's a lawyer, one's a technician, and one's an MBA. Those members, while they're voting members, they don't have any real skin in this game. So unless somebody on this board is being paid large sums of money by some corporation that is driving to, number 1, end veterinary medicine, or number 2, to boost veterinary practices in the urban settings where those doctors, there's a lot of corporations that own practices in urban settings. I'm not joking. They're bought out. And here's the deal. Those corporations can't buy the rural doctors because they're not profitable enough. And When those corporations come in, they want to add more diagnostics, they want to add higher fees on the back end. Those practices aren't going to survive that. Those doctors would much rather just walk away, leave their clients high and dry, let them flail and drive hours to go find someone down the road, probably their competition, to take care of their patients. We've seen it right here in Meridian. You know, Dr. Larry Linsky retired and closed, tried to sell his practice. What he sold was the building. He sold the building to a feed store, and he's gone. He's done practicing. He said, I've had enough. And he's living on the real estate income. That's what veterinarians historically have been doing. They don't have great retirement schemes. They don't have a method so that their practice lives on beyond them. Most of them don't. And those who do have other partnerships going on. One of the things we are seeing happen in animal chiropractic, and this is in part why some of this shenanigans is going on. Animal chiropractic is getting big enough to be noticed. It's getting sturdy enough and successful enough for someone in these corporations to notice that they are able to serve patients far and wide. But they're also getting to a point where they are able to have a legacy practice, leave a practice where doctors can exit, retire, still have income, and still serve their patients. That seems like a big load to fill. But the other thing is this: animal chiropractic is also, I've heard it said by chiropractors who are in relatively high places in chiropractic, that animal chiropractic will be the modality that saves chiropractic as a profession. Not kidding. And I've also just felt that I think animal chiropractic will be the modality that saves veterinary medicine as a profession, or rural veterinary medicine as a profession, because animal chiropractors are there to help provide services for those doctors' clients. And what we can do with animal chiropractic for livestock, for large animal, for even your small animals patients, is far and away amazing, because the human body and the dogs and the animals' bodies are created to heal themselves. And when we get the interference out of the way, man, you guys, it does amazing things. And it doesn't require drugs, and it doesn't require big diagnostics, and it doesn't require, ruling and licensing and all those things. So there's a little, I'm going to share with you guys, there's a little social media page about Victoria and how, she overcomes conflict in the workplace. And one of them today was amazingly spot on. So I'm going to share it to my page so that you guys can see it, because it's pretty cool. And it's like seriously spot on and apropos in this case. If you're a veterinarian or a chiropractor, and specifically today I am telling you guys, if you're in veterinary school, if you're in chiropractic school, animal chiropractic is the best way for you to serve your community. It's the best way for you to make that bridge between being a student and all those things you learned and being the doctor who is there to serve a community, help your patients, and do the thing you love the most. Find us today at animalchiropracticeducation.com.